All right, let's jump right in, because this story we're diving into today, it sounds like something somebody just completely made up. It's this incredible tale about history, geography, and a mystery that was hiding in plain sight for centuries. I mean, just take a second and read that headline. Let it really sink in. You're digging in a field, right? You're expecting dirt, rocks, maybe some potatoes, and instead you hit the ancient timber of a giant ship. It sounds absolutely impossible. A massive ocean-going vessel found buried under tons of dirt, miles and miles from any coast. That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer? Well, it's a wild ride through forgotten history, a changing planet, and a local legend that, believe it or not, turned out to be so much more than just a story. You see, before any scientists or archaeologists ever got involved, this whole thing wasn't a discovery site. It was basically a ghost story. This incredible find didn't start with some high-tech radar scan, but with whispers. Whispers passed down from one generation to the next.
Can you imagine growing up hearing these stories? Your grandparents telling you about this majestic Spanish galleon that was just swallowed by the earth. They'd point out to a particular field and say, "It's out there." Now, most people would probably just smile and laugh it off, just a fun local myth. But as we're about to find out, some legends have a funny way of being 100% true.
So let's get to the heart of it. How in the world does a massive ocean ship end up in the middle of a cornfield? The answer isn't some kind of magic, it's geology. The ground we're standing on today, it is not the same land that existed hundreds of years ago. And the change was way more dramatic than you can probably even imagine.
Just look at the difference here. Back in the 1600s, this whole area wasn't farmland, not even close. It was a huge, open coastal bay, fed by a big river, a busy waterway, the perfect place for a large ship. Fast forward to today, and it's just miles of dry, fertile land. So what on earth happened in between?
Well, the whole thing happened slowly, over centuries. First, our galleon gets caught in a storm sometime in the 1600s and sinks, settling down on the seabed. Then the real transformation kicks off. Over the next 100 years or so, a nearby river starts dumping just enormous amounts of sediment. We're talking silt, sand, soil right into the bay. Year after year, the bay gets shallower and shallower, until it's not really a bay anymore, it's a marsh. And then, eventually, even the marsh dries out, creating all this new, incredibly fertile land. By the time the 1900s roll around, nobody would ever guess an ocean bay used to be there. They just knew it was a fantastic place to grow corn.
Okay, let's fast forward to our time. You've got this old legend, and now you've got modern technology. A team of archaeologists decided it was finally time to see if there was any truth to this whole ghost ship story. And this, right here, is where folklore meets forensics.
Now, they didn't just start digging randomly. No way. First, they used ground-penetrating radar, which sent back these incredible images of a massive, dense object shaped suspiciously like the hull of a ship. That was the green light. They dug a few small test pits and boom, they hit wood. Once they had that confirmation, the full-scale excavation began, carefully removing the very earth that had protected this ship for centuries and preserving every single piece they found. And the age of that wood, get this, over 300 years old. This wasn't just some old fishing boat. It was a time capsule, a genuine Spanish galleon from the age of exploration, perfectly preserved in the oxygen-free soil that had buried it.
So finding an old ship is obviously really cool. But the real impact of the Cornfield galleon goes way beyond just the ship itself. It completely reshapes how we understand the history, the geography, and even the stories we tell ourselves.
So why does this matter so much? Well, for one, it proves that those local legends, the stories we sometimes dismiss as folklore, can hold literal buried truth. It also forces us to physically rewrite the maps. Geographers now have solid proof of just how drastically a coastline can change. And of course, it's this perfectly preserved glimpse into the 1600s. But maybe most importantly, it's a powerful reminder that we should probably listen a little closer to the stories our elders passed down. Sometimes they know exactly where the treasure is buried.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? If a massive galleon can be hiding under a cornfield, what other impossible truths are buried just beneath our feet, just waiting for someone to finally take a story seriously and start digging? What legends from your own town might just be history waiting to be found?